put out there, is Derrick Henry, Titans running back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the worst rushing attack in the NFL. They're averaging 3.1 yards per carry. They are also kind of struggling right now to find their offensive identity. Baker Mayfield was playing out of his mind the first few weeks there, and he's coming back down to reality. They are 3-3, they're 3-4 right now, but they still have a nice little push that like they can win the NFC South still. So Combs, when you hear this possible trade of Derrick Henry, Titans running back King Henry, as people like to call them, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what are your first initial thoughts on this?
Well, I believe he's got a 1 year. I think his contract's up at the end of next year. So if you do trade for him, I believe you have one more year of control. For Derrick Henry, I'm not sure. I don't know if it makes sense for him to go to the Buccaneers. So they got Rashawn White. Rashawn White's been having a good season. Um, there just doesn't make sense for them to, in the situation that they're in the position that they're in. I mean, anytime you can get Derrick Henry, though, it's one of those where, hey, we could get Derrick Henry. Doesn't matter what running back we have. You could get King Henry. Um, It'd be a good trade for the Bucks, but I'm not so sure that it makes a ton of sense for either side to make that move at this point.
Yeah, so one thing that I have been very adamant on is that the shelf life of a running back is about 5 to 6 years, right? Derrick Henry is what, 8th year in the in the league, and
Yeah.
last year he started to slow down a little bit. The previous year he had that, what was it, a hip injury or a knee injury that sidelined him for about 6 weeks, and we saw the emergence of a second running back in Tennessee. And we're like, this year, be a perfect two-headed monster. It is going to be amazing. But the fact of the matter is that King Henry is getting older. The fact of the matter is that the two-headed monster in Tennessee is not as advertised, right? The Tennessee Titans are just not a very good team right now. And if they could get Derrick Henry off of the books and get a first-round pick, get a second-round pick, and maybe that will reignite that fire for Derrick Henry. He's like, man, I got an opportunity to win the NFC South. I got an opportunity to go to the playoffs, and you know, even
You
any,
think you're going to get a first or second round pick for Derrick Henry?
I think you will get at least a second round pick
I'm
for him.
definitely
Yes.
not doing the trade if you want a first or second round pick.
Well,
Absolutely not. Especially not for a running back that's been in the league for as long as There's no way in hell I'm giving up a first or a second round pick. You might get a fourth.
so you legitimately think that a 2,000-yard rusher you are only going to get a fourth round pick out of?
Yes, for a running back in this league, you're talking about a league that doesn't want to give a running back a contract for more than a year right now. I'm not giving anybody, especially when I've already got a guy like Rashawn White on my team. There's no way that you're giving up more than a fourth round pick for
So
Derrick Henry.
so you keep talking up Rashad White and the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back. Right now, Combs, they are the worst in the NFL. They're averaging 3.1 yards a carry. They are just not very good. Then you add a Derrick Henry in there. I think that puts you in the front seat of the NFC South. Yes, it might only get you 7 wins, still eight wins tops, but still, that is all you need to win the NFC South. And once a team makes it into the playoffs, it doesn't matter what their record is. We seen the Seahawks, what were they, like 7-10, go into New Orleans. They actually hosted the Saints and they beat the Saints, right? Any given Sunday. It's just Derrick Henry will give you that, what's the word I'm looking for? The perceived notion that you are going to be good and you are going to be well. And that instantly brings guys down into the box, and that instantly opens up the passing game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're